Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the JLB Racing 4x4 Cheetah. It's a 1/10 scale, 4-wheel drive, brushless off-road truggy. It is big, it is mean, and let's open up the box and see what's going on inside. Here is everything that comes inside the box. As you can see, we've got our charge system over here. We've got our radio. And of course, we've got the main event right there in the middle. That is the Cheetah. Now, it says it's a 1/10 scale. This thing is far bigger than any 1/10 scale that I've ever seen. So, just keep that in mind if you decide to get this. This thing is bigger than you expect. And for me, that's a good thing. In Washington State, where I live, the off-road terrain needs a beast like this to tame it. Because it's pretty gnarly, pretty wet, pretty lush. Here is a look at the radio. As you can see, this thing looks like a wheel. The actual steering wheel looks like a wheel. And it's got a nice rubber grip on it. That is really handy, especially when you're trying to control something like this. This is extremely powerful, extremely fast. I've got a buddy that has one, so that's why I got this one, because I had to get one myself. Alright, so the radio is pretty cool. It's got both throttle and steering dual rates. It's also got throttle and steering trim. Our off-on button is a little bit different than I'm used to. Slides left to right. You don't press it down, that's not how it works. And we've also got 3 different channels to operate on, which is pretty cool. And in case you're wondering, this radio takes 4 AA batteries. Here is our balance charger, and it will charge both 2 and 3S batteries, which is nice. Now, if you live in the US, you're going to need an adapter for this, but the good news is if you already have a LiPo charger that charges 3S, you should be able to use that instead of this, so it should be okay. And if you don't, then you can just get an adapter for this and make it work that way. Alright guys, here is a closer look at the Cheetah itself. Alright, so a number of its features are, it's got obviously some all-terrain tires, those big old monster truck style tires. It's got some lights in the front, which is pretty dang cool. It's got the somersault wheel in the back. We'll get into that a little bit more here later. In addition, it's got ball bearings throughout, which is always a sign of quality. Not only that, it's got sealed, tunable, limited slip differentials. And here is a look at the oil-filled shocks with progressive dual springs. Now that I've got the body off, let's have a nice look at everything. And let's take a look at this first. This is called the somersault wheel, and it's set pretty high, and I know this thing is so powerful that it will flip over. So there are different settings. Let's see if I can zoom in there. There are different settings that you can move this to move it down. And that, if I have time before the maiden run, that is probably what I am going to do. And elsewhere on this thing, let's take a look at this brushless motor. 2500 kV motor. JLB Racing. There we have the speed control. It's got a fan on it and a Dean's connector. And right here we have our receiver. It's a 4-channel receiver, and of course this kit is ready to run. All you do is charge your battery that's over here. Let's take a closer look at that. It is a 4000 milliamp hour battery, and there we go. It's got a Dean's. And then we've got that standard plug. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now, but almost every LiPo charger can handle that. Alright guys, here is a look at the metal chassis. This thing is absolutely rugged. It's rugged, it's waterproof, it's got an 80 amp ESC. This thing is pretty cool. Alright, so this is what it looks like all plugged in. And you can see and probably hear that little fan going there. I just did some very, very light driving indoors to kind of test it out a little bit. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I am going to wait to drive this outside. Alright guys, I am going to wrap up this unboxing by saying I cannot wait for the weather to get better. That way I can really put this thing to the test outside. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And GB Linden, out.